This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And with that, I want to give all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and move well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who are pushing this work in truth and sincerity to the scattered abroad. I'm the brother Amawan, down in Tampa Bay, Florida, from the Prophets in Babylon camp. Bringing out this horrific dream that I had. This dream that I had, pretty much just jumping straight to it. What happened was I seen myself in this predicament where I seemed to be at a school, and at this place where I was at a school, pretty much I had three women that I was dealing with at the time, and these three women that were in my life in this dream had my kids. And I was there, and I remember calling one of the females that I had my kid. And I could remember that when I called to check up on my son, they were pretty much at that same event that I was at for my kids. And with that being said, I was calling to ask about him, and she ended up being with a baby mother, another baby mother of mine, at the same event, and pretty much they were acting weird with each other. So me as a father being concerned, I was trying to find out what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm surrounded with people that are familiar with him, within my family, people that I know for years, and people that were just genuinely, fans of the family. So, they seen that I was frustrated. They seen that was, something that was on my mind. And I was letting them know, explaining to them what the situation was. And, they was like, what is it? Do you want to do something about it? And I was like, yeah, So I started to approach, the three women of my kids. And mind you, I actually have two women, I believe that are I have kids from. One that I'm actually dealing with, but one is, I'm not. But more of the story is the third woman, I don't know where she came from, but she was in a dream. And I had two sons and I had a daughter. But as I was approaching these women, one of the women was, I believe she had a daughter by me, and she wasn't there with the other two, but the other two were there, and both of them had my sons. So I was approaching them, and I remember seeing this FBI, whatever you want to call him. He was there with his kids, and they were approaching the situation, with their kids and everything, and they were just wondering what was going on. And I was just worried about trying to get my kids at that point. And I was like, man, I'm just trying to get my kids, trying to, agree with that adversary quickly. And this officer, offered to help. I'm like, looking like, what can you do? Esau, what can you do? And you just like, I can make one phone call and, have that taken care of you. So I'm like, man, I already got a bunch of people with me. We're going that direction, to hell. If it helps, if I want to get my kids, I'm going to get my kids, And he made one phone call, and, everybody started approaching the situation. Now, it's a dream. I don't know what the whole records and all the extra stuff is, for, but hey, that's a part of the dream. So to fast forward, I get to the situation where I'm there with my baby mothers, and I'm pretty much just looking at them in a weird way, because when they were on the phone, they was just, speaking, straight folliness and wickedness and stuff. So I see my kids, I pick my kids up, and as I grab my kids, and I was pretty much explaining to them like, yo, man, y'all tripping, and y'all on something else. The dude who made the one phone call, he pretty much, it was like helicopter and all kind of crazy, unnecessary stuff, But they came and it was all dramatic or whatever. And people came in and they was just like, yo, you should just let the man have his kids. Woo. So my evil ass baby mother, she just called up family members. Now this is where the whole dream went left. And it got very like horrific and very horror. She called up peoples, and it's Jake, and she was pretty much doing that while we were having this meeting about me just getting my kids, signing some papers, and going about our day. Finish the whole children's event up and go home. You feel me? Pretty much from there. So all we hear is this very great roar outside, like if it was a riot or something going on. So we, I'm just trying to check things out, and I see, people running. So I'm wondering why people running, and everybody else is like looking and why people running. So we can go check it out. Whole time it's my baby mother's family members and friends and whoever the hell they called. So we run out there to go see what's going on, and within a split second, it went into an all-out brawl, and I just seen like demons. I mean, complete demons on these folks, and they started to slaughter the people I knew. Now, mind you, my kids was in the event, and I had two of them in my arms. But when this situation happened, I put them down. I can't remember where I put them down. I know they were safe at the moment. I put them down, and I wanted to go out there, and man, I mean, everyone just started to get slaughtered, and it just went to a whole like scene. Like I just went to a different scene to where I was just seeing people getting slaughtered, man. And I remember seeing a lot of people that I was knowing for years. These Jake were stabbing them in the neck, man. I'm talking about gruesome, stabbing them in the neck, and these people were gushing out blood from their neck. And now this is something I never experienced in my life. I've never experienced this even in a dream, but it felt so real. It felt so real that I couldn't even get out the dream. And they were getting stabbed, man. I'm talking about like gruesome, like vicious, demon like stab wounds, and it was just killing them, and everybody was just dying. I'm just trying to think about what is going on in this moment. And in my head, I remember, because I was listening to the elder, I believe from Mississippi, Elder Kazak, from I believe I'm saying it right. He were explaining the times we're coming into. The class he recently did, he posted up on his channel. He was pretty much explaining the things that we're coming into, and for some reason that I fell asleep to that, and that appeared in my dream of that vision, and I remember that wow, I was like in that situation, and all I can remember, man, is people just screaming to the top of their lungs, getting slaughtered by Jake, within this riot. It was like an uproar, and it was just dying, man. I can't explain how more horrific it was. Like, these people were just stabbing them in the face, the eyes, and the crazy part of it was with tools, like your normal fixing your car, handy dandy tools, screwdriver or Phillips head, flathead, stuff like that. It was just really like going ham. stabbing them in the neck, cutting their stomachs out, and you know, just doing them nasty, man. And I remember as I was running, and I was running in the field, I looked to the left of me, and it was just Jake died, like they're just dying, like it was just bodies everywhere, bodies. I mean, it just looked like a pile of bodies, and Jake was dead on the fence. You know, people I knew for years, and I remember them looking at me and screaming and asking me to help them, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything, and I just was seeing them getting their throats slashed out and getting stabbed, you know, horrifying like ways. And you know, I remember trembling really, really hard, and being in a situation where I was like, you know, hopeless of helping anyone. Like I couldn't do anything. I just couldn't do anything. Like I just had to follow the spirit, being focused. Like that's the only thing that kept me like together, is my mind kept telling me focus, 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 focus. You know, and follow the spirit, because it was so much going around me. It was like people running around like if they lost their mind, and it was just people killing themselves, like pretty much like a scene of Bird Box. If you ever seen that movie, it was just a scene that, you know, people losing their mind, but people were just actually killing each other. And the people who were dying the most was the ones I knew, and they were pretty much just getting killed, and I had to stay focused. And with that being said, you know, I said, okay, you know, I tried to come to my senses, and I was like, where's my kids? And I remember just screaming to the top of my lungs. I thought I had looked to the left, and it was people just slaughtered everywhere, and looked to the right, it was even more people who were slaughtered, and they just looked, man, it was terrifying seeing how these people have died, and how they looked when they were dead. It looked like they was zombies in a way. And I remember screaming to the top of my lungs, trying to keep my sanity. You know, I mean, I was like, where's my kids? Where's my kids? Where's my kids? And I remember just kept screaming, where's my kids? And at this point, it was just like really dark, like a Halloween scary movie. And you know, people would run around like lunatics, like they just turned into their self jokers, like they just went into being a choker. And everybody just had a crazy mindset. Like I was seeing these people get stabbed, and they were just getting like happy as they was killing people. And it was, you know, like for example, they was just like, yeah, you know, just like they were really getting into, you know, really, you know, seeing the gruesome blood that they were you know, doing. Like everybody turned into a serial killer, man. And you know, and I remember just saying, you know, I gotta get the hell up out of here. You know, I gotta find my kids. And I ran back into the school. As I ran back into the school, looking for my kids, it was just like blood splattered all over the hallways. People just crawling on the floor. You know, people legs chopped off, and you know, just bodies everywhere. And then you know, I remember I was just trying to you know, screaming for my kids, man. I was just like trying to find my daughter, and I believe I found one of my kids, but I can't remember if it was my son or my daughter. I believe it was my daughter, but even with that, me finding one of them, man, I still had two of my kids that I couldn't find. And I mean, I remember I was just trying really hard, and yeah, man, just running up and down the hallways, just trying to find my other kids. And I couldn't find them, man. I could not find them. And all I could think about is the times that we're, you know, come into that, you know, we're not going to be able to, you know, we're not going to be able to save no one, man. You know, we're not going to be able to help no one. We're not going to be able to do anything but follow the spirit. And the spirit, if the spirit tell you, you gotta go, man. You know, and I remember it was like the spirit was leading me, but at the same time, uh, I was trying to stay as focused as possible and not, you know, falling into the things of the flesh, roughly paraphrasing how this dream went. But I remember just trying to get out of there, man. And I had to say to hell with my sons. I had to say to hell with my sons, and I had to keep it moving. And the scenery jumped from there. And I don't know. It's like I had a quick vision of my sister. She was getting dragged. She was getting dragged from these Edomites, and the way she looked at me, and the way that my family members looked at me, in this dream, was very, very, very intense. Something that you would not expect to go through, in a million years. To just pretty much say forever. You would not think you had to be in that predicament or position, but I remember my sister being dragged, and I remember they taking her, and she was hollering for my name. She was just like, you ever seen someone like really trembling to their, like their hands are shaking hard, and they're screaming your name, and they're like begging you to help you, to help them, and they're screaming your name. Think about putting your name in that predicament. Whoever any brother or sister listening to this, think about you being in a predicament where they're screaming your name, trembling. All right? Trembling. What their voice is just aching out to you, hoping that you come and help them because you're the only one that knows what's going on. And I remember it was like I was being held down. I was being held down, man. It makes me furious right now. I remember I was being held down, and I had to watch these Edomites rape my sister. This is really trying to, paint the picture in a way, man, of how the scenery just jumped. And I remember they were raping her, man. And these devils, man, they had no freaking remorse, man. No mercy, no nothing. No life to them, no nothing. And these devils was letting their horns just so wide and bright as possible. And she was screaming and hollering like if you ever been fatigued to where you're so tired where you're just shaking up sick to your stomach, and you just like you get that feeling like you're about to throw up and puke and tired and like you're almost near death somewhat. That's the feeling I had, that I felt from her being raped. And they were stabbing her and doing all weird, nasty, and evil, devilish things to her as she kept screaming my name until her last breath. And I remember other family members like just screaming like, "You're just gonna let her die? You're just gonna let her die? You gonna do that? Are you serious? Help us!" And I couldn't do nothing, man. I couldn't do nothing, but my body was aching. My spirit was like getting so angry that I wanted to burst and start destroying, man. I wanted to kill everything, man, And I remember these devils, how they looked at me in my eyes, and how they showed that they didn't give a damn. And that, pretty much, what I stand for, what I was doing, pretty much just was a slap in the face. And I'm just like, what they were trying to pretty much make an example of. And I just sat there, man. I just was in tears, man. My body was aching. It was just like I was like, I can't explain it, man. I just can't explain it. It was like if you got your heart broken, over and over and over and over and over, and then someone just stabbed you in your heart, and you had no life to it. pretty much felt completely numb to seeing those things. And I couldn't do anything, man, because my spirit was, I had to stay put. I had to stay put. I had to stay, following according to the things that was, seeking not to save the, life, he that seek to save his life shall lose it, roughly paraphrasing. That's what I mean. And I just, was thinking about stuff like that, and that I had to stay put, or that could be me and lose my chance. So, just being in that predicament, it just really was very horrifying to seeing the things they were doing. And they eventually just got to the rest of my family. And I remember they kept screaming for me. They just kept screaming for me like being in a dark hallway, and you just hearing those terrifying voices of, someone needing or pleading for help. And you're chained down, But I got that dream, and it's a part 2 to it. I'm gonna make a part 2 going into another flip that happened in that dream. So Lord willing, that this edify you brothers and sisters that are seeking out the Yahweh Shema Shai in these times, and remembering like the Elder Kazak said, that we're in some serious times, and things are about to get really crazy, man. It's about to get really serious. And we have to just be in the spirit of knowing, trusting Yahweh Shema Shai, and knowing that the Lord is going to be with us, and no matter what, and just leaving these things to the Lord, man, because the Lord is in control of these things regardless. This is a part of our afflictions, and this is a part of our fire of adversity. And the fire that we go through is being purged, man, purified. So keep a strong fight, man. Keep your heads high, and remember, man, call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.